Hi there, this is Danny from GrownBy. I am a farmer in central Vermont, and I'm also the customer support specialist at GrownBy, which means that when you email us, I'm the person who answers a lot of your emails. I'm really happy to welcome you to this 3.7 release webinar, which is an exciting opportunity for us to share the features that are in the newest release of GrownBy with you. So without further ado, let's get into it. GrownBy now has shipping. So previously, GrownBy had delivery and pickup options. Now there's a shipping option, and the shipping zones work a lot like delivery zones, with the exception that shipping zones are set by state, whereas delivery zones are set by zip code. So if you have a shipping zone set up and a customer of yours goes on to try to order a product that's associated with that shipping zone, and their address matches the state that the shipping zone is set to, or the states, then they will be allowed to order that product for shipping. And they will immediately see a message on the screen that says, we can ship to you or we can't ship to you. And we've also added a whole bunch of kind of UI, UX around shipping that makes it both make sense and look good for the shopper and for you on the dashboard side of things. So, in the checkout flow, in the packing sheets, in the CSV exports, there's, shipping and delivery features that allow this to look good and make sense. The other thing to know about shipping is that there are shipping fees that you can set, just like delivery fees, and those shipping fees will apply only to that shipping date and to that address one time. So if a customer orders a number of products, and maybe even in separate orders, to be shipped on the same day, they'll only be charged one shipping fee. So GrownBy will recognize that they already have a shipment scheduled for that day and only charge them that first time. Another feature that is in this release is sales tax and flat fees. So sales tax is set as a percentage and flat fees are set as whole numbers. You can set up sales taxes and flat fees in your account settings. There's a new tab in that section for this. And they can also be filtered by location. So they can be filtered to specific states or specific zip codes if you want. And they're set on a per product basis. So when you go into your product editing, you can add a sales tax or a fee to a particular product. Maybe you want to use this for bottle deposits. Maybe you want to use this for site fees. Maybe you actually want to use this for a shipping fee. If you have some products that are particularly expensive to ship, then you might want to add an additional shipping fee or a shipping fee onto your products using this feature. So you can add those once you've created the taxes or the fees in the account settings section. Then you'll go over to your product section of your dashboard and you will add those taxes or fees directly to the product. The other way to add taxes and fees to products is in bulk. So if you're in your products page of your dashboard and you select multiple products, then an edit multiple box will show up at the top of the screen. And if you click on that drop down, you'll see that taxes and fees are now an option there. And so you can add taxes and fees in bulk. And this is super helpful, maybe especially when you're first setting up your taxes and fees and you need to add your sales tax to a whole bunch of products at once. And then you can do that. One other thing to know about taxes and fees is that they will show up in your CSV exports of invoices, and that they'll show up in the checkout flow, in the invoice, and the receipt. So it'll be really clear to both you and the customer what's happening with taxes and fees. And when you need to do some reporting around it, or you need to know how much tax you've paid at the end of the year, you can easily pull that data out of the invoices exports, the CSV exports. And of course, reach out to us at any point if you need any help doing that. We're happy to help. So in 3.7, we've continued to try to make Snap Online work better and be more functional for our customers. So we now have the option to designate products in one of three categories. This is assuming that you are a farm that's approved for SNAP Online. And if you want to be, then please reach out to us and we'll talk to you about that process. But the three options are SNAP eligible, SNAP only, and not SNAP eligible. So you can basically restrict how payments can be, or how products can be purchased and what payment methods can be used for specific products. So if you had a discounted share that you were offering, or discounted products, or discounted prices for specifically for food access around SNAP, then you could make those products only purchasable with SNAP. But if you had products that were not eligible for SNAP, didn't fall into the regulatory requirements, say t-shirts or tote bags or some other swag for your farm, then you could make those products not SNAP eligible. So just like before, there'll be a caret on any product that is available for purchase with SNAP, but there's an additional label that will show up in your shop for products that are SNAP only, and that'll say SNAP only right on the product. Back to SNAP friendly tools. In GrownBy, as anyone who is using SNAP Online for a CSA knows, you have to set up that SNAP Online share using a standard product as opposed to a subscription, which is a little bit counterintuitive, but that's so that everyone's in line with the regulations from the USDA, which say that shopper can only purchase a certain amount of time in advance of receiving food if they're purchasing it with SNAP. So what a standard product allows you to do in the GrownBy system is have payments that occur on the day of the distribution. And so previously, a shopper would have had to choose all of the dates that they wanted to receive that distribution for. We did, in the last release, add a select all dates option at the top of the date selector in the checkout flow. But now, you as the farmer can require that if your CSA is 25 weeks, customers have to order 25 distributions of that product at a time in order for the transaction in order to proceed to the next stage of the checkout. And there will be a message that displays that says that this product requires a certain number of dates. So again, that's really a feature that we built specifically to make SNAP Online work better on GrownBy. And perhaps there are other uses of it too. We're excited to see how farmers use this feature and make it useful to you and your business and your farm. Another thing that's in this release is the ability to do invoice adjustments. So you can now adjust any unpaid invoice or partially paid invoice down. So you can do multiple invoice adjustments per invoice. And that is available in the invoices section of your dashboard under the actions menu on the right. It's available in the customer detail page, I believe. It's available basically anywhere on GrownBy where you can see the invoice. When you're looking at a specific invoice, an individual invoice itself, you'll see that option there too. And when you add an invoice adjustment, you also need to add an adjustment reason. And that's a good opportunity to put in the check number or the date that you received the payment or both, or some other identifying information that will help you down the line to understand what happened. This is particularly helpful for split tender transactions. Say someone just hands you a check or cash for part of their share. Say you're bartering for part of their share. Or say they have a specific payment plan with you that isn't built within GrownBy, but you need to keep track of it. You can do that by adjusting the invoice multiple times as they pay you for that invoice. GrownBy now has ACH payments as an option as a payment method. So up until now, credit and debit cards, offline payments, be they cash or check or barter, and then SNAP Online and Farm Credit, of course, were the payment options that we had on GrownBy. Now we have ACH, which is a direct bank transfer. So you can enable this or disable this for your specific farm. It's enabled by default right now. And then a shopper can either in the checkout flow or just on their account can add an ACH payment method, which basically means that they can search for their bank and log into their bank, and they only have to do that once. Or if they have a smaller or more obscure bank, they might just have to enter their account and routing number directly. But either way, they can use ACH as a payment method. And ACH is great in that it is cheaper for you or the farmer, or I'm sorry, for the farmer or the shopper. The fees are only 1% as opposed to the credit card fee of 3%. There is a $1.50 setup fee. So the first time any shopper uses ACH, and only the first time, there's $1.50 setup fee. But in the vast majority of cases over the lifetime of a customer relationship with you, this is going to be a lot cheaper than credit card transactions. So we're excited to be able to offer that, and we hope that it brings down your fees and your cost of doing business and your cost of using GrownBy. In GrownBy 3.7, we've made delivery instructions a lot more functional and useful. So in a customer's address, there's a field for delivery instructions where they can put instructions for how they want their product delivered and where. So maybe they need to tell you that their apartment is on the third floor on the right, or maybe they need to ask you to put their delivery in a cooler on their porch. These instructions will only appear for products that are associated with delivery zones, or for orders that are associated with delivery zones. And you as the farmer will see these instructions in the sign-in sheet and the packing sheet, and that should make it a lot easier and quicker for whoever is running your deliveries to be able to make sure that the product gets to the customer. GrownBy now has a product search in the shop, so shoppers can do a text search to find the product that they're looking for. This should make things a lot more convenient, especially for some of the shops out there that have hundreds of products, and previously the customer would have had to sort through them or use categories. Now there's a simple text search that can help them find what they're looking for. We have a couple of other fixes and improvements that are coming out with this release. One of those is that we've been working on a bug that's been a really challenging and persistent one of schedules opening and closing not working as expected. And so some of you out there will have experienced this issue. We've tracked it down. We've changed the way that the code works in relation to this. And so now if you are a farm that opens and closes your GrownBy shop on a weekly basis or on a seasonal basis, you can do that seamlessly. Another thing that we've added in this release is a lock image over the image of a CSA group when it's a private CSA group. Previously, it was a little bit challenging to tell which CSA groups were private and not. Now it's very obvious. And of course, you can always change a CSA group between being private and being public via the actions menu, which is on the far right side of the CSA group page. We've added drag and drop image adding on products, on CSA groups, and farm profile. Pretty self-explanatory, but should make it a little bit easier for you to add your nice images of the products that you're selling onto your shop. The final thing that I want to note is that pretty soon we're going to have the ability to send anonymous links for sign-in sheets. So some of you may have used our electronic sign-in sheet feature that came out a couple of releases ago. If you haven't used it and you're a farm that handles distribution and needs people to check things off as they receive their orders, I highly recommend you try it. It works best on a phone or a tablet. It's optimized for that. So it's really convenient if you're at the farmer's market or at your CSA distro site and you need to just quickly be able to see who's picking up and what they're supposed to get and verify that they picked up, or tell the farm or the system that they didn't pick up or that there was some problem. All of these things are possible with these sign-in sheets. And now we have the option to simply send a link to someone. So say you have a person working your farmer's market stand and they're not a part of your GrownBy account, you can just send them a link and they can open that link and then they can execute the sign-in sheet right there at the market or distro site or on your farm. So that's coming soon, not quite out yet, but will be coming in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, that's what's coming in 3.7. That's what's here in 3.7, and we're super excited to be sharing these features with you. And I also want to say that all of the features that we're adding to GrownBy are being added because farmers have asked for them. And so sometimes the things that are asked for are really easy fixes or really easy additions, and we can do them within a week. Sometimes they're larger development tasks that take a year or longer to work on, but everything that we do is organized around things that we're asked for from the farmers that use GrownBy or farmers who want to use GrownBy. And so I just wanted to emphasize that because we love hearing from our farmers, and we love hearing from people who would like to use GrownBy, would like to be involved in our project in the cooperative, but are just not seeing the features that they need to make it work for their business yet. So please reach out to us, schedule a time to talk, email us at support@grownby.app, and let us know how this is working for you and what you need to make it work better. Thanks so much for using GrownBy and for watching this video.